Hi, it's Jasmin. You know, that girl who did you know what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy Train with me, Jasmin St. All aboard! Welcome to a brand new episode of Krazy Train podcast. Just when you think the ride does not get any more interesting, wait till you meet my next guest, gorgeous, blonde, all-American Milf, Abby Rose. I am so happy to finally meet you. I heard all about you through Brian Gross, who's an amazing publicist, by the way.
Definitely.
So I know before the show started, we were talking about your location. We're not going to say which hotel, obviously, but if there is a football team that comes in, is there a chance for a collab?
I mean, they might not be tested, so I might have to schedule it for later because I don't really trust these athletes.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
Wilden, but I'm definitely down to get them tested and schedule down the road.
It's interesting that you said the word collab because you said you're with someone who's collabing with someone else in another room. Back in the day, my God, I feel so antique. We would just say, we're shooting scenes. So do you see yourself more as a adult content creator or a porn star?
Well, I feel like I'm pretty much half and half. So half I do independent stuff and then half I do mainstream. So, and I think mainstream is when you're considered like an actual porn star. So half and half, a little bit of both.
What's the challenge you find the hardest when you're doing collabs with people?
I've been blessed. I've haven't had any weird collabs, thankfully, that I can think of off the top of my head. Knock on wood, because I know I've heard other people have. But everything's gone real smooth for me, so that's good. I feel like I'm a pretty good scheduler. I'm really good with communication, and I think you get what you give. So far, so good.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints I hear the most is people being extremely flaky, like at the last minute, not being able to be there for a collab. And you have this whole setup. Do you have any of your top 3 content creators that are your favorites to work with?
Yes. My top is J Mac. I just worked with him for the first time and hope to work with him as much as possible in the future because he's amazing. My second is probably Emily Norman. She's my best friend, so just the chemistry is just always there. And then the third would be Holly Hotwife. She's my other best friend, so it just like you don't have to. I love when there's collabs that you just already know each other, so you don't have to worry about that kind of like feeling each other out stage. You just go straight for it.
Have you ever had one of those scenes or collabs where it was really strange?
I'm trying to think. I've had like more. My strange days come from my camming days.
Really?
Yeah,
How's
like
that?
these guys are crazy, man. They be thinking of the wildest things, and I'm here for it. The creative energy is there. Like one guy really wanted me to act like a car wash, and he had like a hair blowing fetish. So I just had to like wish my hair around, pretend like I'm blow drying it. He would watch me brush my hair, and like I would make car wash noise. So yeah, it was getting a little weird, but I was like, okay, it's not hurting anybody, so I'm okay with it.
That is so PG rated to make a car wash sound. Like, what does a car wash sound like? Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yep,
That's
you
it.
would
And
make a lot of money with that noise right there.
I don't have the patience you girls do because I've told the story before when Hustler decided to have their very first cam girl ever. I was the experiment, the guinea pig. I'll tell you, that lasted no more than 10 minutes. I started cursing people off. I don't think I had the proper attitude. But then I went out afterwards with the camera guy who was running it for steak at a strip club. So that was a happy ending, right?
Yes, definitely worth it just for that. No, camming, yeah, camming is definitely. I don't really cam much anymore. It was fun while it played its part for sure. But yeah, I enjoy like real life connection, to be honest, more. So it's not definitely not for everyone. That's for sure.
I think that's so cool that you actually get to pick the people you work with and you get along with them. Sometimes, like at least back in the 90s and the 2000s, you didn't always get to pick who you'd work with. You'd have a list, but we all had our bad days. I remember fighting with someone on a set one day or 2 days or 3 days, whatever. I used to fight with people all the time. But you'd still get great scenes and stuff like that. But you work with brazzers as well. Tell me what that's like because I hear so many different experiences from people.
I love working for them. They're my favorite. I mean, I would say like the Vixen, Milfy was my favorite actually, but Brazzers is up there. They're like right hand in hand. So they're just real cool, down to earth teams. They make you feel really good like while you're there. They make sure to do your makeup really nice, do your hair really nice. It's a very glamorous experience. Yeah, and then like I feel like everybody that works for Brazzers are really well known, like amazing talent. Like I worked with Luna Star, and I love Luna Star. She's so great. Like all of those people that are on contracts for Brazzers, they're all great people. So they have like a good thing going, I think.
Where are you from originally, if you don't mind my asking?
I claim Colorado, but I'm from everywhere, I would say. Like I've lived in almost every state. What
Oh,
about
that's cool.
you?
Me?
Yeah,
I'm from all over. No, I'm actually European. So,
you are. Okay, I feel like I heard like a little, you do have like a little accent, right?
French.
Okay, it's so beautiful.
Thank you. Merci mille
Yes.
fois.
Yeah, you're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. So are
Yeah.
you.
Thank
When I
you.
saw it, I was like, oh yes, a ray of light, and she's so blonde and pretty and so Midwestern. It's so perfect. I love Colorado, by the way. I believe that there is a cigar festival every year in Colorado.
Really?
I welcome
I've
you
never
there.
been. Have you been to that?
No, I was wrestling there before, and then I saw these guys show up at the event with t-shirts from the Rocky Mountain cigar thing. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't smoke cigars. I do believe
Yeah,
that's
I
another
was a little
fetish
taken
out
back.
there.
I was like, I don't see you smoking cigars, but no
I love the
judgment.
smell. I love the smell of cigars, not cigarettes. What do you think is one of the highest rated fetishes or the most requested fetishes for men on your customs, on like your OnlyFans?
My milk.
Milk.
Yes.
Milkshakes? Milkshake springs all the way.
Like I have milk. I am a mom, but I gave birth a long time ago. But for some reason, I just still have it. It just never went away. So, and I'm very thankful for that because they love the milk.
Well, wait a second. Not to get graphic or weird, but okay. Let's say you're on a date, okay? And
Yes.
let's say it's finally like the seventh or eighth or 10th date when you finally hook up, because that's usually how long you should wait is 10 dates
Oh, okay.
or 12.
I need to start implementing that.
I'm telling you. I mean, so let's say the guy starts sucking on your nipple and like milk comes out. Do they get freaked out or do you tell them ahead of time?
I do try to give a fair warning. I'm honestly like I just got back into the dating world. Like I'm newly single, like real fresh. And I've been on one date and I did end up sleeping with them the first date. Which is bad, I know, but I'm like, I'm new to this and like this was exciting and fun. I'm like, whatever. And he did try my milk and he liked it.
Did he come back for more?
Well, he's coming to see me again, yeah. So there's gonna be more to come. More to milk.
Does that happen in your scenes as well? Do you lactate then too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they love it. Like I would say out of like 100 people, three won't like it.
Oh, fuck them.
What about you, Andrew?
Andrew's a producer is like, I don't know what the this is very
Is it a
mild.
thing?
This is
He's
extremely
like, let me
mild.
think about this.
This is mild compared to some of the things he's heard on this podcast. Then on Monday nights on the live stream, it gets extremely wild and out of control.
Ooh, I
Um,
like that. I'm gonna start listening to this. This sounds my cup
well,
of
the
tea.
Mondays are crazy. Some girl just showed her ass like on Monday night who had all this messed up surgery from Turkey, but her ass looked perfect. I couldn't believe she's like, should I just take my thong off? I'm like, no, 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 just keep your thong on. Just please. Because I can get kicked off YouTube for that. Uh, but that's very interesting because in all my years, I've never heard of someone that still lactates during porn. Now, is there a difference in taste? Like, not versus soy milk, I'm talking real milk versus mama's milk.
Okay, I've heard, well, I've tried it. It's real sweet, but I've heard it compares to camel's milk.
I've never had camel's milk.
Me neither. So I don't know, but it is very sweet. It's much sweeter than like whole milk. But it does taste good. Like definitely tastes good. And I mean, bodybuilders buy it because it helps restore their muscles or something like that. So I mean, I don't make that much. But if I were to make a lot like that, oh my gosh, like I would be living in the hills of California. I would be doing very well.
Brings me to my next question. So I feel as though a lot of girls make this thing up when they say, "Oh, I make 200 million a year on my OnlyFans. I make a million a month." Anyone could go anywhere and take photos with a luxury car, um, luxury mansion, luxury planes. Like for a day, you pay $5,000 and you do this whole shoot. Do you believe people really make that much on OnlyFans?
I don't know, like even the whole thing with that one girl, I think her name's Sophie Rain or something, where she made 43 million or something like that. A lot of people were saying, I guess there's a cap out on how much you can make per day on OnlyFans, so it didn't even like add up the amount that she made or was claiming to make. I do think that a lot of girls pay for promotion, pay for this, pay for that, so how much are you actually bringing in as income? No one's going to know. And whatever, I personally care more about making money than I do about the clout of it all. It is nice to be recognized. I mean, I'm still a person that likes to be recognized for my work, but if I could choose fame or money, I'm going to choose money. So, and some girls would rather have the fame and not make quite as much money, but they're more well known. And so it just kind of depends on what you prefer.
Do you know who Lily Phillips is?
Sounds really familiar, but no.
So I guess
I'm bad with names.
they just put this whole article about us in the New York Post and the Daily Mail. This is a really interesting one, right? Allegedly, she had sex with 100 men in one day.
Oh, the blonde girl
That stupid bitch, yes. Then she starts crying. Excuse my English, sorry.
crying. Yes.
Then she starts crying. It's like, why would you cry, right? And then you're going to go do 1,000. So are you doing crocodile tears because you failed at 100 and nobody really paid attention? Like, how far do you think people go for clout? Do you think that was smart of her to actually do that? Not that we're judging her, but then to go crying and then, oh, I'll do 1,000 guys.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, my heart actually broke for her because I'm like, damn, like I get it because there's days like you know how it goes. Like you have days where it doesn't phase you at all, and then there's days where you're like, damn, like maybe PMSing, whatever. So, and I feel like 100 people to exchange energies with, you will be tired and exhausted and like worn out. So I think it makes sense that she would cry, and then maybe the next day she's like, okay, I'm back at it. That's like the only way I can kind of see like if it's genuine, if that's how it was. But it's so hard, like you said, like it's so hard to know what's a marketing scheme and what's real and what's not. If it was a marketing scheme, she did it really well because I believed her. Like I was like, damn, like I felt like it was genuine. Her like I'm such a I'm a little just lover girl though. Like I'll believe anybody. Like it's hard for me to like I I will just embrace anybody until they really get on my bad side, and then it's a different girl. But for the most part, I'm pretty accepting of other people. So I don't know. It's hard to know, but yeah, I really do think that she was just tired from that day because I would be fucking exhausted. Like 100 guys, I get tired. Like I'm not a marathoner, so like even just being in mainstream, I'm like, fuck, like 30 minutes of like straight going. I'm like, this is a lot. I'm like a 10 to 15 minute kind of girl.
They're making you guys go half hour. Yeah, I don't think she had 100 guys because it's physically impossible. Just being around these before in the 90s when we did these. It was way different. I'm just one of those people where, you got to own it or just shut up and just don't do it again. It's I'm not as loving and as sweet.
But that's good. We need like
I
people like you, because otherwise people are just going to be doing all sorts of bullshit. We need people to call them out.
Yeah, right. I don't know why she doesn't want to come onto the podcast. Wow, I wonder why. But so, what do you think it is about MILF porn that sells so well? Because there's so many guys I see in different demographics in their early 20s, in the like late 50s that love MILF porn. Besides the fact that you're gorgeous. Are you looking for a safe way to bet online where there is something for everyone, including yourself? Then go to betonline.ag, where I am sure you will find something. Don't forget, it's betonline.ag for the most variety and the safest way to bet online.
I think it just goes back to like just when you're growing up and you first start like getting those urges and stuff, and like you see like a woman, and usually it's your friend's mom, so then it's like you start fantasy. I feel like it's the first fantasy of a man, so I feel like it just sticks with them forever. But I don't know, what do you think, Andrew? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Producer, what do you think, Andrew? Do you think so? Yes or no?
For this, I'm going to go ahead and agree. I'll say yes. It could definitely be a friend's mom, or it could even be a teacher.
The teacher.
Well, we know what caught Andrew's eye, the
Yeah,
teacher.
I know. The second you said that. It's unreal. I mean, I hear this all the time, and then I hear from some guys they like it because they can't really fantasize about girls their own age because so many of them it's so difficult to communicate with. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you get the buyer's remorse half the time with a lot of younger girls. How long have you
Yeah.
been doing this?
I was in the military before this.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's like super switch, big switch. So got out in 2021, and I was a stripper to begin. That was like my gateway drug to porn. So, yeah, from 2021 was when I started stripping. So, sex work for the last 4 years.
where did you work in Colorado?
Nope, Texas. I've been in Texas my whole sex work career, so.
Which club, if you don't mind my asking, or which town?
The Ritz. It's like it was near my house. It's nothing super special. It's just it's not bad. Like I did very well, but I would just never go back to stripping ever. No. Or did you strip ever?
Oh yeah. In the 90s, I was just working as a house girl at Flash Dancers and at Scores. And then I was feature dancing when I was doing adult films and doing magazines. And that's where the money was back then. Because you'd have an agent that would send you on those gigs. Then you'd sell stuff after each show. I was under contract, so I'd only have to work once a month, every other month, whatever it was, doing one or two scenes, and that's it.
Oh, that's great.
That's how contracts worked back then. You wanted to be a contract girl. Now, if you were just doing scenes, shooting scenes, you could make like 300 to maybe 500 a day, 600 a scene. Girls made more than guys, but we were only shooting 10, 15 minutes. We weren't there for the whole half hour.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like now it's a 30-minute. That's what every single company wants, is the 30 minutes, which is fine when you have good chemistry with somebody, but 30 minutes is a long time when you don't have good chemistry with somebody. It's
Well,
like
that depends.
that's like okay. But yeah, I've actually wanted to do that feature dancing. Girls still do that now, and I guess it's good still.
You would do well. They probably want to buy photos with you. Do you guys do DVDs anymore?
No, I think some girls well for AVN.
Oh,
I, I think that's a thing, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna sell my panties. I bought like 100 panties off Amazon.
well, how does that work? Because Ruby Lynn came on here once before. We were talking about that. Do you know who Ruby Lynn is?
I'm the worst with names, so I might if I see her face.
She's a redhead, very pretty. She goes into the guilt category, but she had this whole thing of selling her panties online.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of girls are really big with that.
So how do you do this at AVN? Do you just take a Polaroid and put it with the foot? Like,
Yeah, I got little baggies, And then I think what I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this. This will be my first AVN, so I have to kind of feel it out and get the rules and all that. But I'm going to do dances because I know girls do dances. And then I'm going to whisper in their ear. I'm going to say, do you want my panties? And if they say yes, then I'll be like, tip me or whatever. And then I'll just pull my panties off, give it to him in the bag, and then put on a new pair for the next person.
Wait, they do. This things have really changed. Whoa. So where do these
That's what
girls
I've
do dance?
heard.
It was
Like I
never
said,
like this.
this is my first one, so this is what I'm hearing is that you make your money off the dances. But I have to talk to my agent and see, like, is that, like, behind, where is that? Is that like a whole section, or like am I allowed to do that while I'm signing, or what? So I'll have to figure it out. Is that like a
Well,
VIP lounge or what? I don't
yeah,
know.
I think you'll have fun. I mean, I remember my first AVN. It was a lot of fun, and I was there to piss people off. It was amazing. Uh,
I love that.
it was so good. You should have seen some of these girls, like some of the Vivid girls, and some of the stuff I said. I don't regret it though. But you will have fun at AVN. Are you up for any nominations or any awards?
Yes. Yeah, I'm up for Avian Milf.
Okay.
And then for XBiz, it's new performer.
Who are some of your favorite directors to work with?
Ooh, Tony. Tony with Browsers. Yeah, he's the best. And then Mello with Browsers as well.
Mello?
Mello, yeah.
That's an
He's really
interesting
good.
name.
And then there was one other one that I worked for with Naughty America. Actually, both the Naughty America ones were really good, but I don't know why I can't remember their names right now. Like I said, I'm the worst with names. It's so frustrating. But I think one of them was Stacy with Naughty America. He's cool. But I haven't had a bad experience with the director so far, so knock on wood with that too. Like I'm seriously so thankful. I've had a very smooth career so far. But I'm only like 8 months in, I think. Since yeah. So not I still have plenty of time to go.
Talk to me about this like in another 2 years. It'll be trust me, it's after 2 years, it's like, okay, what am I doing? Some people stay in it for 10 years, some people stay in it for 20 years, and they love it. So, maybe you'll end up being a lifer. I don't know if that's the right word to use, or, just coming and going and doing it and, just happy go lucky. Uh, so wait, you were in the military before. You left the military to get into adult?
No. No, the adult thing was kind of sprung onto me. I actually started a nonprofit when I got out of the Marine Corps, and I still have that. I still run that right now to this day. So we've been going for 5 years. But we help people with mental health issues, and we help a lot of vets get off the streets. We're partnered with another nonprofit where we like find vets that are living on the streets, and we send them to the other nonprofit, and they put them in housing. So we do that. And I had coffee shops actually that funded it.
Oh,
So yeah, I was like doing the whole thing. And then I broke up with my ex. So all my money was invested into my nonprofit. And I like, how it is when you first start a business, there's not very much coming in. So we were brand new and I had literally like nothing to my name. I'm living in Texas. I have no family here, nothing. So, and I'm a new mom at that point. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I got to figure something out. So that's when I went and stripped. I did like, I was like, I'm just going to try this just to just like make money just to pay my rent for this next month coming up. And then, it sucks you in. So I'm like, because, you never make that much money in like such a short period of time. I'm like, oh, okay. All I have to do is be nice to people and flirt with them and I get money. Like, this is great. So yeah, it went from that to webcamming to OnlyFans to mainstream. So yeah, the gateway drug.
that's kind of cool though. I mean, I've worked with a lot of vets before in the past with other things. So that's I'm just trying to figure this out. So you have the nonprofit. Do you still have anything to do with any of this? Do you still get involved?
With the nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still, we go out once a month. So I did get rid of the coffee shop portion because I make more money from this than I do from than I did from the coffee shops. So I just self fund it from porn, basically. So porn pays for my nonprofit. It's kind of weird, but it works. I basically, like, whenever I get a mainstream gig, I take 10% of that and I put it towards getting donations for people in need. So
Are you
it's
allowed to
cool.
mention the name of the nonprofit?
Yeah, definitely.
What is
It's
it?
called the Happy Bean Project, and after the coffee shops are no longer a part of it. Now it's Houston Outreach Team. Like on Instagram, it's Houston Outreach Team. Yeah,
Okay, so it's Houston Outreach Team. That's pretty cool. That's very, very interesting. I have friends
and
that are that.
anybody can come.
Yeah?
We're getting a little more selective because I had one stalker guy that came and like started volunteering and became kind of an issue. So now I vet people, but they can still apply to be a volunteer, but it's not going to be like automatic anymore. Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, given who you are, especially and what you're doing, there's some creeps out there.
it gets
Uh,
risky.
I have friends that have PTSD that served over in Iraq. So I think what you're doing is extremely magnificent and very different. You're the only person with this story that I've spoken to.
Yeah, I think it's really good for anybody to give back. It's very rewarding on both ends. Obviously, it's good for the people that are receiving everything that you're doing, but it's been really helpful for my life as well. So, and it's helped me with my mental health issues as well. So,
And let's talk about your upcoming Brazzers scene. What do you have coming out on Brazzers?
yes, so it's gonna be with Scott Nails, and it's just a straightforward scene. I'm pretty sure there's cheating involved, always something. So yeah, it's good. Me and Scott had a lot of chemistry together. I liked working with him a lot, so I think it's the best scene I've done with Brothers so far because I just enjoyed it so much.
What is so special about a guy named Scott Nails? That's a very cool name, by the way.
It is a cool name. Yeah, he's like an outdoorsy dude. He's super chill. Um, he's like very like he kind of reminds me of like a guy from Colorado, and I grew up there. I don't think he is actually from Colorado, but he just has like Colorado vibes. So we just hit it off. Yeah.
I've got to look him up after. I'm so curious because I'm not sure who all of the performers are these days, the male performers.
Yeah.
But I do know one guy from my era actually won the lottery and went off to New Mexico.
Really? Are
Yeah,
you serious?
I mean, it was a really interesting story because his mother was doing porn and
Okay.
she was in a movie with him, not having sex with him, but just in the same film, which I thought was really weird. Uh,
It's
but yeah,
unique.
yeah,
That's crazy.
his son hit the lotto, and then he had a sister too doing films. So
Okay. So it runs
yeah,
in the family.
exactly. So he moved out to New Mexico, and I think he changed his number. I wanted to see how his lottery winnings went, um, but I guess he changed it for a reason.
Yeah, you have to be careful when you win that much money. You do. I heard like people will find you and it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Hey, could you lend me this? Or hey, how's it going, buddy? I mean, it's amazing. Then you see all these little memes up on Instagram and so forth with the really not so cute guy and the beautiful girl all excited just because he won the lottery. All of a sudden, he's got like a new girlfriend. Uh,
Exactly.
so, if people want to find you online, where would they go?
It depends. If they want to see like the cutesy me, then go to my Instagram, which is it's Abby Rose Main, like Main. And then if they want to see the not as cute, more like exposed version of me, then it would be it's Abby Rose underscore, which is my Twitter X, whatever. And then the best way is obviously my OnlyFans. That would be the best because then you're actually supporting me, and that's it's Abby Rose OF.
How many hours a day do you spend on there if you do lives?
I do lives on Chatterbait instead of OnlyFans, but I
Right.
tell everybody on my OnlyFans that I'm going live on Chatterbait, so they get free access to it. And I'm usually on there for like 2 hours at a time.
Oh, God, you have such patience.
I mean, like I drink while I'm camming, so
Oh, okay. There we go.
yeah, it makes the time go by, and I do actually enjoy can. It's kind of like this, except we're all masturbating. It's like we're all talking. It's like it's literally chat or bait. So you do have talking times where you're just genuinely like, "Hey, how's your day?" This and that, and just bullshitting. But then you get a little horny, and then you masturbate, and then you go back to talking, and then you masturbate and talk. So,
Wait, you
yes,
see the other person?
you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I saw my car wash guy. He's a
Really?
real person. Yeah. He's not a bot.
Meeting the other side of OnlyFans, that's like a special right there in and of itself. And I still say we have to get DILF porn. Are there any DILFs in the business these days?
Oh yeah. Well, Scott Nails is a DILF. What's his name that I just mentioned earlier? That's my favorite, but now that's just I don't know what happens to my brain when it comes to names. The Cuban guy that he has a bald head, J Mac. J Mac, he's a DILF. Yeah, I think I have a thing for DILFs for sure. Like I like a little bit of an older man and like that has responsibilities and is actually like knows what they're doing a little bit. So
I like that. That's such a different thing these days. Men with responsibilities. Yeah. It's kind of a turn on, isn't it? Um,
right?
so thanks so much for joining us. And once again, if you could throw out your socials, that would be wonderful so people could come find you and support you.
Yes, thank you. It's Abby Rose Main for my Instagram. It's Abby Rose underscore for my Twitter, and it's Abby Rose OF for my OnlyFans.
Is that with a Y or an IE?
Okay, so ABBY.
Great. Excellent. All righty then. Well,
Yay!
have a fun shoot and have a happy new year and sit tight.